we will continue the transmission in the following way. Allow us to briefly recap. You have your 15-minute time span, which is the time in which, generally speaking, the neurological pathways go from plasticity to hardwiring themselves with a new idea. And with every single thought, with every single feeling, with every single definition, you change the wiring of your brain. And now, with the understanding and the introduction of this specific structure of belief, embedded through the holotopic experience into the center of your receiver antenna brain, you now can have the opportunity to always allow there to be a doorway to the light, even in the darkest of hours, even in the most negative of beliefs. There will always be that tug and that pull to remind you that there is always a light at the end of that tunnel, and to urge you to walk toward it. And to know that every moment is a new reality, a new you, utterly and totally defined by whatever definition you choose to buy into most strongly at that moment. And we remind you of your mechanisms of manifestation, making the invisible visible that is already here, and motivation, discovering what beliefs you have attached to the ideas of pleasure and pain. That these things are not things you have to learn, just things you have to clarify and use as tools. With your permission slips, you are now more capable, because you are new people, more capable than those people that were here a moment ago, more different, more clearly aligned, more clearly defined with the higher mind in concert with the physical mind than the people that were here before. Those people are in another reality. It still exists, but they are not you and you are not them. You are now who you define yourselves to be. Feel the difference in greater ways every day, and you will see and experience the immediateness of the shift from reality to reality by simply creating greater difference between them. Because there is already a total change with every change. And now, in keeping with the idea of the manifestation mechanism we described, by focusing and concentrating your intention as you did in the holotopic experience, bringing your passion, your vibration of highest resonance into it, we now transfer to the other side of letting go, opening up, surrendering. Not thinking about it, changing the subject, going in a new direction, lightening up. Not worrying about it at all, letting the higher mind take care of it for you, letting the higher mind involve itself with the how your passion will manifest, of the how the synchronicity will present itself to you. This already works. You don't have to make it work. It's the nature of the structure of existence and creation itself. Let it work. Allow it to work. Relax. Let go. Be at peace. To begin changing the subject, lightening things up, we will, first and foremost, before we engage in questions, tell a story. So relax. Get comfy, as you say. If you wish, put on your ethereal pajamas. Have some astral cocoa. All right. and sit before your crackling etheric fire. Relax. Once upon a time, on my world, when I was first training to become a contact specialist, my father and my mother brought me before a group of very experienced contact specialists, 10 in all. They related to me, each and every one in his or her turn, their stories of their first contacts with other civilizations and what they learned from the experience, what they gained, how they grew, how differently they perceived the idea of creation by having experienced another facet of creation through the auspices of a completely different civilization, and how that reflected upon us and how we could look at ourselves in different ways. Throughout the course of a day, they related their stories to me and also to my counterpart, who many of you know as Anima. And as together she and I sat and listened and absorbed and imagined and visualized the scenarios that they were painting in our minds, bit by bit we realized they were also not only just telling stories, but handing over their experience energetically, allowing us to literally live emotionally, vibrationally, mentally, through those experiences, allowing us literally to taste, hear, see, touch, feel every sensation that they had experienced in those first contacts with other civilizations, priming us for the new civilizations we would encounter, such as your own. So that by the time it came time to encounter you, we would have a wealth of experience and knowledge to draw upon, to aid and assist you, and also to allow our interaction with you to aid and assist us in seeing ourselves relative to all the other civilizations, all the other facets of the multidimensional crystal of all that is, and giving us a deeper appreciation of our connection, of our relationship as family within creation, as parts of the all that is, as parts of the one, as expressions and reflections of each other. And at the end of that day, after we had absorbed those experiences in that way, we were then allowed to be by ourselves momentarily, alone. They all left, bid us, as you say, farewell, went on their way. Anima and I were simply by ourselves in what you would call a very natural setting of trees, of grass. And as we allowed ourselves to simply remain there quietly, absorbing all that we had learned, we began to realize that the stories were not over. For as we sat there, in that resonance, in that vibration, suddenly we received stories from the rocks and the trees and the animals and the sky and the water and the air. And everything our world had to offer in its consciousness, in supporting us as the mother of us, we received from her that day. To let us know that as we ventured out among the stars, we would always carry a piece of our own home world in our hearts. We would never be disconnected from her. And that as we make contact with other worlds, other beautiful gems in space such as yours, not only is it our personage that we present to you, but the entirety of the consciousness of our world, not just the people, but the planet and everything upon it, and everything within it, and everything that it is. So that our worlds are also communing vibrationally as we speak to you as people our respective planets are also speaking to each other through the timeless void of space and time. This communication is taking place on many levels, all at once, all now, and that is what we learned that day. So be it. Kenneth.
Yes.
Would you like to share your questions now?
Yes. Hello, Bashar.
And to you good day.
I was really glad that the guy this morning called you B.
Yes.
I like nicknames. They save so much time.
Yes.
Of course, you know, these days we recognize that as a dual-layer joke. The first layer being, of course, on the human level, where nicknames really don't save that much time. And on the metaphysical layer, we know that there is no such thing as time.
Yes.
So there's nothing to save anyway.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So, I have a metaphysical joke for you.
Oh, all right.
And I would appreciate it if you would get your people tuned into this.
Always.
Okay. So, you ready for the joke?
Yes.
How many Sasani does it take to change a light bulb?
Let me check. All right, we give up. How many?
None. Everything changes, so the light bulb changes on its own.
Oh, thank you. Thank you also for participating in lightening up the energy so that it is easier for individuals to let go and surrender.
Thank you. I appreciate your acknowledging that. At a previous channeling session, I say previous in quotes since it's all happening now anyway.
Thank you.
You talked about the games that you guys play on your world.
Yes.
And so I have a question about games. You say that your people are on average about 5 of our feet tall.
Yes.
So does that mean your basketball hoops are proportionately lower?
If we had basketball, they would be.
Yes. And of course, that's why it's funny for us, because we all know you don't play basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although, not entirely true. Any time we make contact with a new world, there are usually at least a few of us who make an attempt to emulate some of the things of that world, including some of your games.
Mm-hmm.
So there have actually been a few that have attempted what you call basketball, baseball, and so forth.
Uh-huh. I'm getting the picture that the balls might be balls of energy rather than physical balls.
Not always. Sometimes we really wish to, as you say, get down and dirty and play like the natives. So that we can gain a thorough appreciation of the physicality that you experience in your reality when playing the game.
And do you appreciate it the way we do, or at least appreciate it in your sense?
Yes.
Yeah, good. You realize, Bashar, that going by the single name Bashar puts you kind of in a unique category that includes Cher and Madonna.
Yes.
Prince, yeah. Just thought I'd make.
Thank you.
Anyway, now to my question. I have been reading a series of books called the I Am Discourses,
Yes.
which are basically discourses given by Earth Ascended Masters, primarily Saint Germain.
Yes.
And they use the term I Am Presence.
Yes.
And the concept that they refer to, I believe, is the same as the concept that you refer to when you say higher self. My question is, are these two terms truly synonymous, or are they talking about a level or a span of frequency that's different from the span of frequency that you refer to when you say higher self?
It is the combination frequency. When we talk about the idea of the partnership and the relationship in perfect balance between the physical mind and the higher mind together, that can be referred to more precisely vibrationally in the way they mean it as the I am presence.
Okay. So there's kind of an overlap there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The Ascended Masters are purported to have completely, I just about used the word conquered, but I really mean gained command over physical reality in all respects. They can materialize their bodies, as I understand it, dematerialize their bodies. And this would be a level of ability for humans that is quite extraordinary, that, as I understand it, is different from the level of reality or command over reality that you guys have. And I'm not trying to make a comparison for judgmental purposes, just so that we can see that as humans we can ascend to a level of truly complete command over our reality if that's what we choose.
Yes, and many individuals in my own society have that command.
Is there a particular reason why some do and some don't?
Yes. It depends on the path they have chosen, what it is they are teaching, what it is they have to reflect, and also to some degree the idea of what many individuals choose to do with remaining in certain levels that make it more conducive for them to interact with other beings of similar level.
Mm-hmm. So what is it that they are communicating by understanding and having this command of reality that someone who doesn't have that command is not communicating?
First of all, they are, as a vanguard in a sense, communicating to the entire society and constantly reflecting to them openly the potential that exists in all, so that we never forget that by having examples around us all the time.
Which is what our Ascended Masters do as well.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Bashar?
There's that temperature again.
Yeah. That's the end of my questions. Bashar, get out of my way. I'm coming through.
Shivai.
Shivai to you.
Thank you. K.
Welcome, B.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
There has been a question that has been following me around begging for an answer, and it has to do with...
like a little puppy dog.
Like a little puppy dog.
Oh, all right.
Just biting at my heels. And
yes.
It has to do with statements you've made about we're not changing our economic systems, but we are going to be inventing new systems to replace the old ones when they fall away.
Yes.
And for the life of me, I can't visualize how that will occur in our particular society.
Well, that may not be, as you say in your language, your particular thing. So you may not have to be able to visualize that. You may simply be able to visualize other things and simply take advantage of the changes in the economic system when they occur that other people will implement. That may not be your thing. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So sometimes when something is not really representative of your particular approach to creativity or excitement, it doesn't mean you have to become aware of how that's going to work. Let the other people that are involved in that regarding their excitement to make those new systems do that, and know that you will simply be around to take advantage of them because you will be of a similar frequency. But you can simply implement into society whatever changes you wish to make within yourself and shift yourself to the society that will reflect those changes within you back to you based on whatever excites you the most. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Now, by doing that, you also allow the other people working on other things to have more opportunity to work on what excites them the most as well. And that's how you actually help them create their systems and how they help you create your new systems. By simply all of you following your highest excitement and imbuing your reality with more potential to follow your excitement in general, no matter in which way you may individually and specifically wish to do so. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And thus then you will help the economic system of your planet appreciate as you learn to appreciate yourself. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Does that answer the questions? Does that feed the dog?
It feeds the dog quite a bit.
All right.
I just don't see that there is anyone doing the work that seems to be required to develop
All right,
this.
again, understand, you cannot necessarily perceive what you are not the vibration of. It may not be important for this to be visible to you at this point. You may not run in those circles, in those frequencies, so right now it may not be visible on the surface. Eventually, it will become as visible to you as it needs to be in order for you to take advantage of whatever portion of it is required in your reality, and you need to be aware of no more of it than that. Make sense?
That feeds the dog a lot.
In other words, to use a very simple analogy that is often used on your planet, you don't necessarily see the workings of how the electricity is generated that lights your home. The only portion of it you really need to be aware of at any given moment is that when you flip the light switch, the light will go on. You understand?
Yes.
So you don't need to know what all the engineers and electricians are doing down at the plant. But they're there working because
Yes.
the light goes on.
Yes, they
So
are.
eventually, what will happen is as you follow your joy and your excitement and create more of that vibration in your reality, eventually those that are doing the same things in other areas, in other systems, they will all converge, they will all synthesize, they will all come together, and at one point, somewhere down the line, when you need it, you'll flip that switch and the light will just go on, and you'll know someone has been working on it. But you don't necessarily need to know that they have been until you need to flip the switch. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you. And I have a short personal question.
A short personal question.
A short one. Sometimes in the morning, I would like to wake up feeling activated, joyous, and excited in the morning.
Well, go right ahead.
And some mornings I do, and some mornings when I wake up,
Yes.
it's just not happening.
Oh, all right.
Do you have any suggestions
Yes.
that I can implement
Yes.
to make that happen?
Yes, no,
To choose to have that happen.
yes. To allow that to happen.
To
Not to
allow
make
that-
it happen.
to allow it to
happen.
happen.
Yes. Use the power of paradox. I'll explain. When you wake up not feeling quite like you prefer to feel, if you let that be all right, you will learn more quickly why you feel that way, and by using it in a positive way, and by using it more quickly and learning from it what you need to learn as to why you are waking up in that state, by letting it be all right to wake up in that state and learning from it, you will allow it to transform into the other state more quickly by having used it for the purpose it is there. The more you don't want it to be, the more you don't want it to be there, the more it will stick around until you use it for the reason you created it.
So don't resist, take it as a gift.
All pain is the product of resistance to the natural self, and usually the resistance to what is going on in your life as if it wasn't supposed to be there, when in fact, if it's there, it is. There for a reason. Allow yourself to find out what the reason is, then you'll be using it for the reason you created it, and as soon as you use it, it will go away because it doesn't stick around when it's been used up. Make sense?
Makes sense. Thank you very much.
Get along, little doggy.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a question about the origin of the human race.
The origin of the human race.
Yes, and
Well, it starts
yeah.
at the starting line and ends at the finish line.
Now, do we all come at the same time, or
Well,
have
when
we
you
been
say
seated?
we, understand that incarnationally, no, didn't all come at the same time. However, physiologically, the human species was developed approximately at the same time. But the idea is that the original hominid species on your planet that grew naturally through what you would call the evolutionary process was at a particular time genetically enhanced by another species from off your world, thus creating, generally speaking, relatively speaking, what you now recognize as the human species. You understand?
Yes, I do.
This is not as uncommon as you may think. It is actually one of the ways in which creation has of creating, in a sense, vehicles for incarnational experiential purposes. That there is, in that sense, genetic seeding that takes place, genetic alteration that takes place to bring a viable vehicle in physical reality into a particular frequency level through genetic manipulation that allows for the idea of soul incarnational experiences in physical reality to be had in a very specific way. Does that make sense to you in your language?
Yes, it does.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And one other question, then, would that also mean that there's various ET or higher intelligence that spawn different races of groups within Earth, like white and black?
Yes and no. The idea is that at this point you're all pretty mixed up. We mean that genetically. The idea also is that there are some factors that are simply environmental, while at the same time, yes, some of the differences are representative to some degree of different genetic factors in different, what you would call, ET species. But not necessarily as absolutely distinctly as you may think, because the ET species, even they were already genetically mixed up in a variety of ways. You follow?
I follow you.
Does this help?
Helps a lot.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.